Was everybody able to participate today?
Yes, for the most part. Held a few guys out of certain aspects of practice, but yeah, for the most part, we had everybody.
What are the latest updates from Jabari? Do you expect him to be back soon?
Expect Jabari to be back. Fred is still a game time decision. He didn't go through everything today, and we'll see how he feels after a hard day of work today.
Back for tomorrow or for Jabari?
Yes, expect that's the expectation.
Do you know yet if you're going to put him back in the starting lineup?
No, I do not. Depends on some things. With obviously, Fred being out, we could do a few different things lineup, but we'll see when they come. The receivers are all available.
Just looking at the 33 games that you played with Jabari and the 22 games since, there's slippage on offense, on defense. I know not all of that is obviously due to not having him, but what are the key issues that you think can be helped by having him back?
Well, the thing that hurt us significantly has been our rebounding numbers defensively. That's due to his size and obviously athleticism and length and all those things, but also some other guys being played in different spots. Where we had our men near the basket a lot more, we're having more guards, and so him and Tari and guys like that guarding wings and guards is going to affect them getting around the basket and some rebounds. So that's one area that stood out. Offensively, our pace picked up and all those things, but it's just a direct result of our men being in with playing more minutes.
As far as Jabari, will he be on the minutes restriction, and is any limit on him playing back-to-backs?
No, not at all. I think he's worked extremely hard. It's a hand injury, so his conditioning is good. He can get out there and do some cardio, and it was just mainly letting the hand heal. So I don't expect him to be on any restriction other than him getting his condition up to par for game speed, game shape.
Just seeing him practice today, just how overall did you think that he looked? Do you see any rust?
No, he looked good. He looked fresh. He looked, it's a reminder of some of the things he does at his size and with his length and athleticism and shooting ability. So it'd be good to have him back.
The last time you guys played the two Wolves, Anthony Edwards went off over 40. What's going to be the biggest key as far as trying to win this time around?
I've let him get off to a hot start. We looked at that game specifically the first quarter. 3 mistakes on 3-pointers that got him wide open, kind of got him going. 18 in the first quarter, and then he had 3 in the second quarter. We kind of went after him a little bit more there. So not letting him get off to a hot start and build his confidence. Obviously, you got to go late in the game as well, but I think second and third quarter we did a pretty good job overall. Got to get off to a better start with him.
Headed toward the All-Star break, you all played a lot of games in a short amount of time. How good was it for your players to be able to have this time off, during the All-Star break, and how refreshed did they look coming back in today?
Yeah, I think it was needed, not just for us. Most people in the league are banged up around that time. We got hit with injuries, obviously. Alpi missing the 3 games, and then Fred being out and Jabari being out for the long period. So a lot of our guys got heavy minutes and put into different spots, and so you can see some fatigue in those games late. And the schedule, didn't help as well with all the back-to-backs, 3 and 4 nights, those things. The Atlanta game being postponed and thrown back in there, and so it's good to have the break physically, mentally get away, refresh, and looked like it was training camp today. With as far as the activity, the first real practice we've had in over a month, and so good to get back out there, see some bodies back out there that had been banged up or not available, and look forward to a nice effort tomorrow against Minnesota.
As I said, what's the biggest thing you want to see in this second half, final stretch of the season? I mean, before the All-Star break, you guys had a good stretch there in the league with a slump there right before the All-Star break.
Yeah, it's pretty much staying confident, getting that aggressive swagger back that we had earlier in the season. I think, credit to our guys. We asked them to play with a certain amount of physicality and aggression, and they do that. I think we're one of the hardest playing teams in the league, and when some guys are missing from the lineup, it puts the onus on other guys where they can kind of get run down. So we're trying to find the balance of staying sharp at the practice time as well as getting the legs fresh and the effort that we're demanding of them. So credit to them. They play hard like that. We want to balance it and give them some breaks, but I think we did have some slippage due to lack of bodies and lack of practice time we had.
When you have a starting lineup crunch, is it important now to think about that first guy off the bench as much as it is the starting lineup? Is that something you bring into consideration at all?
Yeah, both. We like to keep the balance. We don't want to have all scorers, offensive-minded guys in there, or all defenders. We want the balance and then the spark off the bench as well. And I think when we're whole and healthy, we have quite a bit of that and the options that we can go to. And so we're kind of mixing and matching as we're going, starting different guys against different teams based on what we needed. We'll get back to some regularity once we get everybody healthy and see what our bench looks like with a full unit there as well.
You guys haven't been shy to playoffs and a run in the playoffs are the goal. So what do you want to see as this final stretch begins?
Like I said, back to what we were doing at the start of the year, which is playing harder than most teams on a nightly basis, and we understand how much that impacts the chance of us winning or not. And when we didn't, we saw some of the letdowns and losses we've had lately. And so, due to fatigue and all those things, I think that's why this break is especially needed. And so, first things first, to get back to playing the way we do, and sharpening up in certain areas that we've struggled in, getting better in transition, not playing in the crowd, making the extra pass, and then some of the areas we slipped in defensively and get back to that. We're still number 4 in the league, but I feel we could be a lot higher.
Did you watch the All-Star game?
No, I watched Alfie's minutes separately, a minute or seconds or whatever it was, but I saw that part. I caught some of the younger games, but it was really, I had our video guys, full clips of our guys. Other than that, no.
It's probably a better way to do it.
Did you do any self-scouting during the break?
Yeah, we took a look at what we have done well, especially over the first, I would say, 30 or so games, and really broke it up into the last 10 games and saw where the slippage was and what areas we were hurt that affected some of those losses. There were still some positive things where we had fourth quarter leads in the majority of those games, and kind of let go of the rope, or had some close losses, obviously. And so, you take a look at everything. It's not just on the players. We figure out how we and I can make them better down the stretch, and look to some things that we need to improve on in these last 27 games.
Anything you saw that surprised you when you were kind of going through that?
No, nothing that we didn't know already. We do pretty much 10 game scouts and see where we're at and where we've improved and slipped some. So pretty much on top of that, just different lineups and some of the things that we had to kind of play through were kind of understandable.
Yeah, some veteran guys on your team who can understand if they don't get to play on a nightly basis, on a consistent basis. But how do you have that conversation with some of the younger players now that you have your team back fully healthy?
Yeah, same one we had at the start of the year, that we're legit 14 deep, 14, 15 deep, man. Every night's not going to be your night. Sacrifice was a big word for us going into the season, and so guys understanding and being there to support their teammates. We still have guys that are unable to play on back-to-back, so one night someone might not play. Next they could be playing heavy minutes or be in the starting position, as you see with Jay Sean, Jeff, Aaron, and different guys throughout this year. And so until we're fully whole, all guys aren't on those restrictions with back-to-backs, everybody has to be ready, and I think that's the beauty of our team. We got the young guys that do what they do, but our veterans are always ready to play, and we saw that in the last game against Golden State.